Okay, so um, have you ever found yourself like unexpectedly pushed into a leadership role? Maybe when you really weren't expecting it,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just facing this huge pile of deadlines, feeling that intense pressure of balancing it all.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, if any of that sounds familiar, get ready. We're going to unpack some really valuable insights from someone's actual real life experience today.
Yeah, today we're doing a deep dive into a pretty fascinating real-world project. It's a sulam project that's a kind of university community thing involving a cafe called Hardcover Cafe.
Right.
And our mission really is to pull out the key lessons on, well, handling that sudden leadership, managing tricky projects when everything feels chaotic, getting some pretty rare business insights, and building those, crucial professional skills.
And it's all from one team leader's personal story.
Exactly. It's her account of what happened.
And that's what makes this so interesting, I think.
Mhm.
Our source isn't some dry case study.
No, not at all.
It's straight from a sharing session where this team leader, she just talked about her journey. It's raw, it's honest. You get a real personal look at the hurdles she faced and how she grew.
Absolutely. It's like getting inside the head of someone who's really, really in the thick of it.
So let's talk about this sudden appointment.
Mm.
It really kicked things off.
Yeah.
The team leader, Umaira, she was working on the Sulam project, right?
Hmm.
Assigned to research Hardcover Cafe's finances and do a pestle analysis.
Yeah, the standard stuff, political, economic, social, tech, environmental, legal factors. Pretty typical assignment.
Exactly. Until she's giving a progress update to her lecturer, Sir Ezrian, and he just names her project leader, like right there on the spot.
No.
She called it a sudden shift. One minute, just a team member. The next, uh-oh, you're in charge.
How often does that actually happen, that kind of sink or swim appointment in the real world?
Yeah.
And what's the immediate sort of psychological hit? It's actually, well, it's way more common than people might think. That sort of sudden shift Umaira talks about, it really captures that shock and immediate weight of responsibility you feel just thrown in. Got to adapt instantly.
And it wasn't just the surprise leadership thing. The chaos that hit right after sounds, well, intense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were meant to interview Chef Izat from the cafe on May 22nd. That was week 8 for Amira.
Okay.
But she called that week chaos,
Mm.
pure chaos. She had 3 presentations, back-to-back in a test, all crammed together.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, she said she was so torn between her academic workload and not wanting to disappoint her team or the cafe. You can almost feel that pressure, can't you? Trying to juggle it all.
Oh, absolutely. And that really throws a spotlight on the challenge of, managing expectations, managing resources.
Mm.
When you're under that kind of academic pressure cooker,
Yeah.
and then you add a major leadership role and a crucial interview with someone outside the university, that's
Yeah.
just, well, it's a recipe for potential burnout. It really underlines the need to prioritize and communicate clearly when you're under the gun like that.
Well, thankfully, Sir Ezrian, the lecturer, he chimed in with some pretty smart advice.
Oh, good.
He told them basically, take your time, plan it properly,
Mm.
don't just rush the interview. It'll give a bad impression. Which, Umair admitted made perfect sense.
That's good advice. Quality over speed.
So she had to kind of strategically reschedule. She asked their middle person, someone named Kamarina, to help talk to Chef Izat, convince him to push the interview back.
Ah, using the team. Smart.
Yeah. And they eventually got it moved to Juneteenth, which was week 10.
Okay, so a bit of breathing room. There's a key lesson right there. Just the willingness to step back, not just like bulldoze through, but to actually reassess the plan.
Right.
Sir Ezrian's advice about quality, especially with external people like Chef Izat, that's crucial. And Umaira actually delegating, using Kamarina to handle the rescheduling, that shows some real pragmatic leadership thinking early on.
Definitely. So, okay, beyond just the logistics, the scheduling nightmare,
Yeah.
how did this whole thing affect Umaira personally,
Ah,
emotionally?
yeah, I wonder.
Well, she described it as an emotional roller coaster. She felt immense pressure. And she admitted she's usually a bit of a control freak.
Ah, okay. I know the type. Maybe I am the type sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate. She said, having to delegate and trust my teammates was honestly challenging. It's tough, right, to let go when you're suddenly responsible.
It really is.
But she said it taught her a huge amount. She had to take their chaotic interview questions and sort them into proper themes, finances, operations, challenges, that sort of thing.
Structure from chaos.
Exactly. And that process, she said, it made her realize something important. Leadership isn't about doing everything. It's about guiding the team to find the answers together.
That is such a massive realization for any leader, especially one who, didn't even ask for the job. Moving from that control freak default to actually trusting and guiding, that's a huge shift. Yeah. It's all about letting your team use their strengths instead of you trying to carry everything. And actually, maybe being a bit of a control freak initially helped her, enforcing her to structure those messy questions.
That's an interesting point. Maybe it gave her that drive to create order.
Could be. Where others might just feel swamped.
So the scheduling's sorted, the questions are structured, then comes the big day, the actual interview. How did she handle the pressure then?
The moment of truth.
She said her hands were literally trembling at first, just physically shaking.
Wow, nerves are real.
But Chef Aizat, the cafe owner, she said he was so warm and approachable it calmed my nerves, which is great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Makes such a difference.
Yeah, and here's what's really cool. She described the adrenaline rush during the interview as kind of addictive, like I felt alive.
Whoa, addictive. That's interesting.
Isn't it? And she even managed to overcome her stutter a bit during the conversation. I mean, talk about a personal win right alongside the professional task.
That really is a breakthrough moment, isn't it? On a personal level. It just shows how pushing through that discomfort, even, actual trembling, can lead to these unexpected feelings of, wow, empowerment, even excitement.
Yeah, alive is a strong word.
And that addictive adrenaline plus tackling a personal hurdle like a stutter that points to a real boost in her confidence, her sort of presence in that moment.
Absolutely. But okay, it wasn't just about her personal growth, right? Yeah. This project also gave them some pretty amazing business insights. What stood out there?
Yeah, what did they actually learn about the cafe?
Well, Umayyar really stressed the incredible access they got. They saw firsthand how the cafe operates, how they take orders, manage budgeting, even food prep, like the nitty-gritty.
That's gold, stuff you don't usually see.
Exactly. She specifically said Chef Aizat was so generous, he shared probably 80% of their internal operations.
80%? That's huge.
Right. She pointed out this is rare, okay?
Uh-huh.
Most businesses keep that stuff private. She basically said having him as their main source was a total blessing because he was so open and trusting.
That is genuinely invaluable. Most companies, they guard their internal processes like state secrets, They see them as their competitive edge.
Totally.
So for Shafida to share 80%, that shows an amazing level of trust, generosity too. It means Umayyar and her team got this incredible real-world masterclass in running a cafe, way better than any textbook. It really speaks volumes about, building genuine connection and rapport.
So digging into those insights, one of the most fascinating bits that came out of the interview was this whole debt-free debate, a real core business lesson.
Oh.
Tell me more. Chef Aizat apparently has this really bold strategy. If they need to buy a new machine or upgrade something, they literally just save up from their sales until they can afford it, flat out.
Wow. So no loans, no debt, full stop. Okay, that is definitely bold. I mean, on one hand, being debt-free massively cuts your risk, right? No interest payments, huge stability. But what's the flip side? What's the trade-off, especially for a small business like a cafe?
That's exactly the question. And Umayyar had a really nuanced take on it.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
Okay.
Personally, she totally got it. She said, yeah, being debt-free is nice. You avoid those long-term obligations. Makes sense.
Sure, feels safer.
But then she switched gears, looked at it from a business perspective, especially if you're thinking about, say, growing the business, scaling up, maybe opening another branch.
Right, the strategy angle.
Yeah. She suggested that sometimes short-term loans can actually help with cash flow and prepare for emergencies.
Strategic debt.
But she was really clear about the conditions. She stressed that the ROI, the return on investment, has to outweigh the interest you pay. And you absolutely have to carefully check out the repayment ability, interest rates, and terms.
Okay, so it's calculated risk versus just, avoiding risk altogether.
Just like
that really brings up that whole question of traditional financing versus more strategic approaches. Umayyar's 2 viewpoints there, that shows real critical thinking.
It does.
She sees the personal comfort of no debt, but then puts on her business hat and recognizes, hey, debt can be a tool, a powerful one for growth and flexibility if you manage it right and the numbers make sense. It's not about debt bad. It's about strategic debt versus, unstrategic debt.
So after going through all this, the sudden leadership, the chaos, the interview, these insights, what did Umayyar take away for herself? What did she reflect on?
The personal post-mortem.
Yeah. She said her biggest regret was procrastinating earlier on, adding to her own pressure. She admitted failing to plan is planning to fail. Said that, quote, hit her deep.
Oof. Yeah, that quote always lands. And, in a situation like hers, suddenly leading, juggling so much, procrastination isn't just about losing time. It creates this, cascading pressure. It can just completely overwhelm a new leader who's already trying to find their footing. Her being honest about that, recognizing it, that's key. It shows that in these high-stakes, unexpected moments, planning ahead isn't just nice to have. It's non-negotiable if you want to succeed.
That makes sense. So, okay, what does this all mean for you listening right now and for Umaira moving forward?
Yeah, the actionable stuff.
She's now totally committed to time management and discipline, calls them non-negotiable for her next step, which is an auditing and accounting internship.
Ah, okay. Good feels for discipline.
Right. She recognizes that in auditing and accounting, deadlines are super tight, urgent things pop up all the time. So her plan now is to actively train myself to start early, schedule properly, and plan for last-minute changes.
Building the habits now.
Exactly. She gets how important it is to build those habits proactively, not wait until she's drowning again.
And that is an incredibly practical takeaway, isn't it? She's not just vaguely saying, I'll do better. She's got specific steps. Start early, schedule, plan for curveballs. That discipline, that time management she's working on, it's going to be absolutely vital in any professional field, but especially something as detail-heavy and deadline-focused as auditing or accounting. It's all about being prepared, proactive, not just constantly reacting.
What a journey she had, really.
Yeah.
From that shock appointment and the initial chaos to pushing past her own challenges, the trembling hands, the stutters, and then getting these incredibly rare, valuable business insights from someone who is just so open.
It's quite the story.
Her whole experience with this hardcover cafe project, it just goes to show that even really stressful situations can end up being these profound learning opportunities.
Absolutely. It really is a testament to that idea that, growth often comes directly from discomfort. Umaira's story shines a light on how tackling unexpected challenges can reveal strengths you didn't even know you had, and also unlock these incredibly valuable, sometimes rare insights, whatever field you happen to be exploring.
So here's something for you listening to maybe chew on a bit. How might a business decision that seems really bold, like Chef Izet avoiding all debt, how could that be both a major strength and potentially a limitation, depending on the bigger picture, the future goals of that business?
Good question. The pros and cons of playing it safe versus leveraging for growth.
Exactly. And thinking about your own life or work, how could then embracing discomfort, tackling those unexpected challenges like Umaira did, how could that reveal your hidden strengths and unlock valuable insights for you? What really stands out to you